Would you please then stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So who's whistling the Old Spice thing? That was pretty good. All right, the city clerk posted orders of adjournment of the July 11th, 2017 meeting and the agenda of the July 25th, 2017 meeting in accordance with state law and council authority, successor agency to the redevelopment agency policy. Next, we have employee service awards. I'd like to invite City Manager Doug Williford to join the council, please, down below.
Thank you, Mayor. These are awards given to our employees that have served us 5 years or longer in 5-year increments. I'd like to begin with our 5-year category. Administrative Secretary Jessica Caraveo, 5 years. Our Information Technologies Manager, Sarah Diaz. Public Record Specialist, Frances Darling. Our City Traffic Engineer, Mario Sanchez. Police Record Supervisor, Norma Cabana. Police Services Officer, Chad Liu. In the category of 15 years of service, Administrative Secretary, Tracy Yale. I should mention that previously, when Frances Darling, she was 10 years, as well as Mario Sanchez and Norma Cabana, Chad Liu were 15 years of service, as well as Tracy. Serving 20 years as Information Technologies Technician, Franklin Reed. With 25 years of service to the City of El Cajon, Public Works Crew Leader, David Spethman. and of the employees that could join us today. I'd like to acknowledge 30 years of service, Fire Battalion Chief Ted Kakuris. So again, we congratulate all our employees that are here today for their many years of dedicated service to the city of El Cajon.
Thank you all. All right. Staff, do you have any agenda changes?
No, sir.
Council, any agenda changes? No. We are now at consent items. Consent items are routine matters enacted by one motion, according to the recommendation listed below. With the concurrence of the City Council, a council member or person in attendance may request discussion of a consent item at this time. Council members, do you wish to pull any of the consent items? Staff?
No, sir.
Darrell, do we have any speaker cards for consent items?
We don't have any cards, Mr. Mayor.
It's going to be a quick day. All right. May we have a motion then to approve the consent items? Is there a second? Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0, Mayor.
Thank you, Darrell. That brings us to public comment. At this time, any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council, Housing Authority, or successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time that the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, Council, Authority, and agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. Darrell, do we have any cards on a public comment?
We do, Mr. Mayor. The first speaker is Deborah Browner.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Deborah Bronner. I reside at 131 Chambers Street.
Ma'am, can I interrupt you for just a second? Would
Yes.
you mind lifting the microphone so we can hear you?
Oh, yeah, that helps.
There you go.
I reside at 131 Chambers Street, apartment 322 in El Cajon, 92020. I live as a disabled senior citizen at Solterra Senior Apartments. I've lived there since I moved in 4 years and 2.5, 3 months ago, and since it opened. And I am really concerned about the $40 rent increase. It seems very unfair. We're seniors. A lot of us, like myself, live on Social Security. I'm on Social Security disability, and this is really unfair. They've taken away a lot of things from us at Solterra, and the management doesn't seem to care whatsoever about us. The thing I'm most concerned about is they took away our security guard. And we're having a lot of people that are homeless or drug addicts get into our building. Some ways are through other tenants that don't speak English that let people in. And 2 men have gotten to my front door in the last 2 weeks and who were not supposed to be told where I live by some other people who live there. And it's a real problem that management doesn't seem to care or do anything. Yesterday, there were people breaking into our back garage door gate, and I had to tell them to leave it alone in harsh words. And people are always in our garage of the 131 building doing drugs and whatnot below our gate, in our back gate that faces that hometown buffet where it was. And I'm just really concerned what's happening to us there.
Okay, well, first off, we appreciate you coming to us with these problems. Let me see if there's any questions amongst the council. I'm going to ask our city manager, Doug, would you mind looking into this for us?
Absolutely. Just so council knows, Solterra is a senior project which the city had financing relationship with about 5 years ago when it was built. It's just a few blocks away from City Hall, so we will absolutely look into these issues. I've looked at some of the cards. I believe there's several residents here that have similar comments. I would ask perhaps one resident, or it could be more, to contact city manager's office or to write me a specific letter so I have a list of things that we can look into.
Could we write one letter and a bunch of people sign it?
That would be
work?
the best, however you want to do it, but I just need
Okay.
a comprehensive.
Okay, great. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
so I think at this point, the issue is not so much getting the attention of the city council or the city, because I think we're hearing you. It's just that Doug needs a written list of the problems that he can address.
Yeah, we have
So
a lot of problems.
my suggestion would be to appoint a leader and have that leader then contact Doug and let him correspond with you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, ma'am.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Rosemary Robinson. Ms. Robinson.
Rosemary, my old friend, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Mayor?
I'm good.
My name is Rosemary Robinson. I live at 151 Chambers Street, Solterra. I've been there since day one. Like everybody else, we have concerns about the rent. I personally have a complaint about Solari. My privacy rights have been violated by the on-site manager. There are two residents here that she has been showing information in my file to. I wrote them a letter. They received it 3 weeks ago. I have not heard a word from them. And I just need some help somewhere because I don't think it's right, and I don't think that managers should still be there.
Rose, let me ask you, I think about probably 4 years ago, we heard from residents about problems there. Did things get better after we
No.
intervened at that time?
No. They've gotten worse. If 2 years ago I wrote a letter to Solari, Affirmed Housing, I don't remember how many people. We have lights in the front of our building that have been out for 2 years. Lights on my floor alone, there are 7 lights out. Now, the front gate is where the light is out for 2 years. And with the homeless sleeping in that area, it's very scary at night, especially for a single woman,
Sure.
you know. And we can't get anywhere with them. It's like they just push us to the side.
All right. Well, thanks for telling us about this. Let me,
So please,
council, any questions? Okay. Thanks, Rose. We'll look into it for sure.
okay, thank you.
Mr. Jeff Lashmet.
Mr. Lashman, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Lashman, a retired fire captain for the El Cajon Fire Department with 37 years of service to the city of El Cajon. I'm here to talk about 2 issues I'm dealing with concerning the city staff. The first issue is how HR is interpreting the MOU in order to process my sick leave upon separation. The second issue is how I've been treated by the staff in trying to resolve this issue. I believe the HR department is misinterpreting the sick leave reimbursement upon separation in the MOU. The way they calculate the benefit, the employee ends up using 81% of his total hours rather than 100% of what was earned. They are reading the MOU out of order. I tried to show them that. But by my original calculations, the city owed me money. After 3 attempts, HR finally got me the correct numbers of hours I converted, and it turns out that I'm not owed any money, thankfully. By their calculations, HR may be denying employees potential money that they may be entitled to. 3 minutes is not enough time to discuss all the numbers, but I have examples of their math. Now to discuss how I've been treated by the staff. When I tried to address the issue with HR, their answer was, this is the way we've always done it. They were not going to argue with me about this. I asked them, how are we going to resolve this? Again, they said, we're not going to argue. I filed agreements to the chain of command and informed HR I wanted to go to the Personnel Commission to get an answer on how they were applying retirement benefits to sick leave. While I was waiting for the grievance, I contacted the mayor's office and the city manager's office. My request was never acknowledged, and I was ignored. Finally, I was contacted by the city manager upon my retirement to check out with HR. I informed the city manager I had already checked in with HR and was having problems with my retirement benefits and had filed a grievance. There was no need to check in with HR again and ask for his help in resolving this issue. His reply did not come to me, but it came to me the next day when I was informed by my union president that the city staff was preparing a police report for stolen city property because I was not going to check out. I confirmed this when I checked in with the fire department staff, prepared to turn in my gear, and was told how mad they were because they'd spent hours researching the value of my turnouts. Needless to say, I was flabbergasted and told them this is who we work for. I was not scheduled to retire for another week. Shortly after I retired, I received my original grievance back in the mail from HR. When I contacted HR to ask them the status of my grievance, they said because I had not responded in 10 days, they considered it dropped. I informed them that I originally wanted to go to the Personnel Commission. HR said they would contact the city attorney's office and find out how I could proceed, and I've yet to hear back from them. This all started in May. Your staff seems more interested in following procedure rather than resolving problems.
It's okay, Jerry, you can turn the red light off. I want
Okay.
to hear what he has to say.
Okay.
Okay, no, go ahead, please finish.
Okay, so again, I'll reiterate, again, your staff seems more interested in following procedure rather than resolving the problem. To sum up, basically I feel like I've been misled, been ignored, been disrespected, and most of all, been threatened by the city staff. The action of your staff constitutes a hostile work environment, not really appreciated. I want nothing more to do with the HR department, nor the city manager at this point. What I'd like the council to do is find somebody on your staff that I can talk to. And I'd like my grievance to go forward to the Personnel Commission. Hopefully other city employees haven't been denied money they were entitled to because of these procedures, the way they figure the sick leave. Thank you for your time and consideration on this matter. If you'd like to contact me, the city manager and the HR staff have my information.
I appreciate
Do
it,
you have
sir.
any questions for me?
Any questions? No, sir. I'm awfully sorry that you've had such a difficult time. We'll see what we can do to resolve it.
It's been very disappointing.
I'm sorry.
Gustavo D. Lopez Jr., Mr. Lopez.
Hey, Mr. Lopez, welcome.
Welcome, thank you. I also reside at Solterra, and we've been having, like I said, a lot of problems. I have pictures of safety issues, like with the lights. I've also about like sanitary conditions where the homeless go around and urinate, defecate stuff on our property. I have brought all these to attention. Water leaks, standing water. I'm bit up so bad from mosquitoes, and they haven't done a thing about this. I don't know what to do. We go in there and they just tell us to go away, or like pretty much what it comes down to. If you can't pay rent, you need to move on or find another place to live. You know, and every time I ask them about something, it took 2 weeks to get a switch replaced. I asked them, what about the lights being on? I got to pay for that, you know. They don't really care. I went down there, about 2 light bulbs in my kitchen that were out. It's taken months because they come back with, we don't have the money. I really feel that Solari needs to be investigated about what's going on because they're not putting anything back. I have pictures where they've taken TVs from our lounge, taken things from us, taken away our gardening area. We use water to garden our garden. I have pictures of dead rats on our property. We've got all kinds of stuff. We have drug problems going on around there, et cetera, and there's nothing they can do. We got people stealing, breaking into our cars. A lot of stuff, but it's really a big major safety issue. With the lighting not being around all the time, and they just keep saying out in the courtyard, it's dark, no lights have ever been replaced in there. It's just really bad. We really need some help, you guys. I'm extremely low income. I only get 1 check a month. I can't afford to really move someplace else, but if I could, I would.
Okay.
They don't really care about us. They neglect us, and they take advantage of the senior citizens in our complex.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Ben?
I should know this, but how many residents live there?
Oh, there's a total of
49 units?
apartments. And another thing, we have a washroom that used to have three washers, 4 dryers. Now we only have 2 washers and 2 dryers. They just keep taking things from us, and we get no answer besides, if you don't like it, move.
All right, well, again, I really appreciate bringing this to our attention.
Thank you so much for your time.
And if you guys want to, I'd like to look at the place, tour. I've never been there, so if you want to reach out to my office, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Kelsey. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thanks.
God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Diana Baylor. Ms. Baylor.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Diana Baylor. I do live at Solterra, but I was going to try to have a helpful suggestion because they're already telling things that I am suffering with. I actually had turned in 2 cards. One, you probably already know, for the 3 years I've lived there, the Hometown Buffet parking lot, there's never been any lights after 11 o'clock at night. So, and it's right across from the Grand Bar, Hell's Angels Bar. So I'd even asked my manager. She didn't like it because her boss, the owners, don't have the money. We need floodlights. And now that there's no restaurant up and running yet, they're working on it, we have no lights. So night after night after night, you put in earplugs, you turn on the sound machine, you take sleeping pills, and if we're lucky, we get 4 hours of sleep a night for all the activity. I don't call the police every night. And why does the trash trucks come by every morning at 6:15 a.m.? Probably because you want to get it off the business early.
Well, I can tell you, we've got some waste management people right behind you to wave with them. They can talk to you about that. But go ahead and go finish.
So it's all kind of tied in. Some of this, for instance, last night between the gunshots, the motorcycles, finding men in our hallways, problems. There's several of us, we're just trying to live on 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night. And it's not good. It's not healthy. So I should have looked to say, oh, I'm moving in next to a Hells Angels biker bar, and they're going to party, but it's worse than. So I would like my manager to put lights from our building and shine it down into that empty parking lot. She won't want to pay for it. But so maybe we can work with the city. Could we get Grand Bar to pay for the lights? Because it's their people that party there till 4 in the morning.
Well, you're going to get contact with the city, you're going to take a look at the list, and they'll tell you all that we can and can't do. Some things we can't force people to do, so we have to stay within the laws in that respect. But we'll do everything we can to help you.
So the police should just be there every night at about 1:30, because we call them every night at 1:30.
Well,
and they break up the fights and the drug deals and the prostitution.
completely seriously, I've heard Chief Davis say this many times. Most of our police force is data-driven at this point, meaning that if you see something bad that's happening, you don't call, it's not going to get into the data system, so we will not understand where to send more police cars and more manpower. Mm-hmm. So I know it's intuitively you think, oh, I don't want to bother the police, and you're good citizens, and I appreciate that. But if you seriously see a problem and you feel like a law is being broken, the police want to hear from you so they can understand.
We call at least once a week. Women are being beaten up or on drugs or yelling.
Yeah, certainly if anything like that happens, you should be calling the police and at least telling them what's happening.
We're exhausted.
It is exhausting. I can understand.
And I had a very nice policeman came by the other day. Well, why don't you ladies just take a nap? Well, between all the sirens, I didn't know I'd have sirens going up and down Main Street 20 times a day and stuff, so.
Well, I understand your frustration. Let me see if there's any
Lighting,
questions for you.
enforcement, it's, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Loretta Gallardo. Ms. Gallardo.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hello, my name is Loretta Gallardo. I also live at Solterra. My concern is, yes, about the lighting. If there is a fire there, the elevators stop. So we have to go down the stairs. Now, the stairs have no light, and it's really dark, like nighttime dark. It's not darker. And for someone to go down with a walker or a cane, it could be not a good thing. So, yes, the lighting is one thing. The other thing is you did put up signs on Chamber Street. It does say seniors facility on both sides. But the only people that really listen to that is the firemen and the paramedics, for the sirens. Cars still really go fast down that street. So I'm wondering if it's possible, maybe in the future, if not sooner, you can put like those humps or bumps in the street to slow those cars down?
Well, you know what? We'll make the traffic concerns as part of the overall thing that we'll study in this situation.
Okay, because I noticed that, especially at nighttime, but in the daytime, in the morning, children are going to school, and it being a senior citizen, sometimes we walk across the street, go to the VFW, eat, cars are going by very fast.
I have a question about your stairwell. So were there lights in the stairwell at one time?
Yes, they were. When it first opened, it was beautiful when it first opened.
And the lights just have burned out?
They burned out. They were asked to replace them. They haven't replaced them. I mean, when you go down in the daytime, it's really dark.
Yeah, that sounds like a safety concern.
Yeah, because the elevator stops, and we have no way to get down if there is a fire.
Sure. Any other questions? Okay. Ma'am, thanks for coming. Thanks for telling us about this.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Lisa Mais. Ms. Mais.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. I'm also a resident of Sololas, and I've been a resident there since it's opened, and I've watched it just go down from inside to out. I've had the same issues that they had about the lighting and the staircase. I've walked the staircases, even though they've been dark, and went all the way to the bottom and found homeless living there. So I reported it to management, took pictures myself, but I took a lot of pictures of lighting, security issues, sanitary issues, in and out, replacement of things not happening. Management pays no attention. And it doesn't matter. I've called all the way up to Orange County where their corporate office is, and I wasn't able to get anywhere. And I don't believe no one came to my door as I requested, come and talk to me in person, but I didn't receive that either. So I'm sort of like at my last end. I'm tired of reaching out and getting no responses to anything.
I can understand your frustration. Thank you for telling us. Let me see if there's any questions. Ben and then Gary. Ben first.
I said to reach out to my office. I'll take a tour. I'll make it easy for you. That beautiful girl wearing black, that's my wife. You can get my cell phone number from her. And just call me, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
I think there's another question for you. Gary and then Bob.
Just a comment. I think we need to get code enforcement out there.
Bob.
As I remember, when this place was built, the city furnished a good portion of the funding for building this building, and there must be some conditions that they're operating under, and I'm sure that our city manager will address these issues and I think they'll be resolved, and maybe if they can't be resolved with Solterra, maybe we can find another management company that'll take over. I don't know.
I agree, Mr. McClellan. What I will do for the city council, we will investigate this immediately. We'll report out to the full city council as to our findings and what we're going to do to fix it.
Could I have another comment?
Yeah, please.
I have another comment about all the inspections that we get there. In my lease, it said 2, but since, like I said, I've been there from the get-go, and 1 year that I was there, and I've been there since 2013, I think this was in 2015, I had like about 4 or 5 inspections, and then it was like 10 or 15 people came and were taking pictures of my apartment.
That's odd.
And this has happened 3 or 4 times to me, and I've took pictures around. I have them on my phone of my inside and the outside.
Okay.
And I've been wrote up on things like for a knob on the stove being dirty. I don't live like that, so all they could find was a knob. Excuse me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Janice Cook. Ms. Cook.
Hi, Ms. Cook. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I, too, am a resident of the Solterra Senior Apartment, and prior to signing a lease in June the 5th, 2013, I was told that Solterra was a part of the California Section 42 tax credit low-income-based housing program, and that my unit specifically was one of the units that was set aside for income restriction due to my income. I am on Social Security disability. Since I've been there, my rent have increased more and more the last 4 years I've been there. I was told by the manager after we received a notice of a rent increase on our doors that I should contact HUD and that there was nothing that they could do about it. However, I did contact HUD, and HUD told me that they did not propose the increase, the rent increase, that my rent increase was set by the owners of our property. Okay, my issue is I would like to know if you all could have any information regarding HUD who can give us an explanation of California Section 42, their compliances and their rules, who set the percentage of our rent, and who proposed it, and does HUD does it, or do our apartment complex. I do, however, understand that it's in our lease agreement that they can raise our rent, but because I was in one of the income-based set units, my rent should not have been raised, but it has been raised by $40.
40. Okay. All right, Luis, is there any questions for you? Ma'am, thanks for coming and telling us about all this. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Stanley Sexton.
Hello, Stanley, welcome.
Hi. I'm back again. I was here about 3 months ago. It's about Wells Park. And since then, it's got about 10 times worse. I have some issues here. One is we have at least 5 or 6 cars with people living in them, and these cars are broke down, and they've been there for weeks, and some for months. They throw trash on the street. They urinate in the street. You got shopping carts and bikes around these that block the sidewalks where people have to dodge around them. They park these bikes and things, shopping carts in the street. So you got this urinating. You even watch people take a bucket and dump it in the street where they. So you got all these shopping carts with all kinds of stuff in it in the bus stops, so people can't even go to the bus stop. They're filled in every day with all this homeless stuff. So people can't even sit down waiting for a bus. And then most of the time they go a block away and wait for the bus coming down the street before they even get close. There's drugs, prostitution, alcohol drinking in the park and all around the park. I watch them build a fire on the ground, right in the park, right next to the tree. You got these encampments, and they got all these tents going up. This is a park. This is not an RV place for people to set up tents all day long. Late at night, you see these large groups of people in the parking lot, in the park, and we're talking about late at night, creating all kinds of, I don't know what, drug deals or whatever. So this has been going on, and this is 10 times worse than it was 3 months ago. I see the police coming there, but I don't see any improvement. These cars don't even have license plates, and people are living out of them. There has to be a law that says, hey, you can't do this. I feel sorry for the homeless, but this is ridiculous. Urinating in the street. You got kids going to be starting the school. They walk up and down Madison Avenue there. That's what they need to see in the morning when they're going to school. And I have to look at that. I live right across the park, right straight across. And I can look out my kitchen window and see this going on every morning. This is not once in a while. This is every morning. So it's getting ridiculous. So something needs to be done. So my understanding, or at least I heard it on the radio, San Diego County has $80 million that supposedly they got for the homeless. So where is this $80 million going? Somebody's getting it. Sure ain't the homeless. And one of the things you see now that you didn't see 3 or 4 months ago is the amount of women in the park, homeless. Lots of them. And I don't mean older women. A lot of young. And you got all these, I don't know, looking online they call them crackheads, but druggies I would call them. And there's large groups of them.
Yeah.
You've never seen this 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Now you see it, large groups. So.
Well, sir, you know what? Don't go away for a second, because I want to tell you. First thing I want to tell you is I think all the things you brought up are right on. We see these same things happening. We're hearing from your neighbors that these things are happening. This is the number one priority and concern of the city council and the city government right now, where we're doing everything we can to work on these issues and try to find a solution. I'm going to ask our city manager to just give a brief rundown to the crowd of the recent policy changes we've made regarding Wells Park.
Thank you. Just several weeks ago, the City Council adopted a new master plan for Wells Park, and it has some immediate things that we're going to be doing this summer, have already started doing, and into the autumn. Probably the most important thing is that we're going to be providing a trained park ranger that will be out there virtually all the time. There isn't that kind of presence there right now and hasn't been for many years. We're going to be closing the very large public bathroom because that has been a center of illegal activity. There will be smaller, easier to control bathrooms put in their place. There is any number of other things. We're going to gate the park. The issue about the so-called bicycle repair, which are probably illegal bicycles being stolen, repaired, and sold out. We're also going to be installing a lot more camera overwatch that's tied directly into our police department. That's just the beginning. There's a lot more than that, but as far as what you will see in the immediate future in the next few months, that's the list. And then there's a list of things that the council approved that go in even deeper than that.
So one of the things I've been doing, I'm taking pictures, and I'm going to post these pictures. It gets ridiculous watching people urinate in the street, throw trash. I'm out there every day in front of my house picking up trash. I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm going to, post these. This is what's going on. And I know a lot of my neighbors and stuff, they don't like what's going on. That park is for people, for recreation, for kids. Who wants to take their kid to one of those bathrooms where people are going there, taking baths and changing clothes and doing all kinds of stuff. Nobody wants to take their kid in there to go to the bathroom. So they don't, I see a big decrease in the number of kids. Luckily, now I think soccer season is starting, so they're seeing a lot of more kids in there. And I know it's in the last couple of days, it's driven some of the homeless out that were in camp there, because now they're using the soccer fields. What we need is more kids, more families going there. Maybe it would get better.
Let me see if there's any questions for you, sir. Anybody have any questions? Thank you for coming, and rest assured that we are very aware of the problem, and we're working hard to remedy it. Thank you.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Sunshine Horton. Ms. Horton.
Sunshine, you're moving kind of slow today. Oh. Go ahead and pull that microphone down so we can hear you.
Why, do you think I'm short?
No. The microphone is just abnormally tall.
My
It's not your fault.
husband will say I'm the midget. Good afternoon, everybody. After hearing everybody so negative and what's happening, I just want to say something about the homeless. I can't understand why they have more rights than the taxpayers, and they're growing and growing because they don't want responsibility. Why? Because I was homeless in El Cajon. Okay. I was going to talk, and I'm going to talk about friendship, because I've been myself, I've been little, big, and we all do wrong things and that, but then a certain time in my life, I decided, because God never gave up on me, to follow Him. So now I have a big, big house with stuff, because my friendship that I give it from the heart. I don't say, oh, I'm your friend. Well, no, I can't do that for you. You have to be a complete friend. Love them for what they are, and they'll love you. I have so many friends, and when they see me, they scream my name, and I go, it must be something that I got in my spirit, because I don't have money, but yet I go to the store, and if somebody can pay for something, I'll do it. I go to the movies, and if a teenager wants something, I'll buy the popcorn. I mean, we have to be doing those things and not look at us. I mean, I have enough. I have enough bills too, but I have enough money to pay. I have enough house. I have enough food. So why can't I share of myself and what I have to other people? Because friendship is something good. The more we love, the better we are. And the greater our friendships are, the dearer we are to God. Then this one says, what do we live for if it's not to make life less difficult for others? Then this one is a friendless man is like a left hand without the right one. And this one is, don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Walk beside me, because you're my friend. We have to be friends. We have to stop thinking of lust, greed, power, and all that. We have to go to the good side and help other people, because I am a good example. If you go to my house, you'll see where did all this came from. And one of them is the Stoney family. I have a lot of their stuff. And they love me since I became their friend, and the daughters did too. And I never thought I was going to have Degrassi art and all that. So I say, if you're a friend, you don't need money, but you have to be a true friend. And that's all I wanted to do. Tell people to smile, be friends, and do things. Yes, you get hurt, but it goes away. Okay?
Bob?
Sunshine, I have a friend that, she said, I'm not short, I'm under tall. So don't ever think you're short, you're just under tall.
No. Well, I'm good because I can hide everywhere.
Yeah. And thank you for your comments.
No, but I just want everybody to enjoy each other. We don't have time to fight or hate, okay? Okay, I love you all.
Thanks for coming, Sunshine. You can party, yeah. This is-
The last speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Ms. Bonnie Price.
Well, Ms. Price, welcome.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I want to, before I start what I'm talking here to talk about, I just want to say that these stories are simply heart-wrenching, and I truly hope you can do something to help these people. Seems to me like there's plenty of ground to do that. Also, before I make my comment, I wanted just to say that today a federal judge decided that 1,400 Iraqis can stay in the United States instead of being sent back to Iraq, where they would meet certain death. This is a plus for all of us. I understand some of these Iraqis have somewhat spotted records in civil affairs, but it would be actual murder to send them back to Iraq. So I'm glad the federal judge took action. Now, what I came to talk about is community choice aggregation. I know this item was brought up before some years ago, but since climate change is showing us how hot it will be, not only now but in the future, and we've passed the tipping point, we should have the city thinking of becoming a community choice aggregator. This would allow the city to become an energy company, and you could fund it by a bond issue. If you don't have decent prices for your energy, and I must say SDG&E has the highest prices in the country, a lot of senior citizens will die because they won't be able to afford air conditioning, and it will be a must. And this is science-based thinking. This is not anything other than that. I have a scientist friend who is regularly sending out information based on observations by NOAA and NASA, and we have passed the tipping point. So we have got to do something to make energy costs come down for the people. And it would be like giving a tax cut to people in El Cajon, to have their bills less because the community is bringing the cost down and not selling for a profit. Now, the city of Sacramento has done this. They've saved millions for their people, and I think it's time for you to think about the future for not only senior citizens, but for all who come after. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the speakers we have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Darrell. There are no written communications. Item 3.1 is a public hearing on a vacation of a roadway easement on West Main Street established by City Council Resolution number 352-78. Staff, would you tell us about this, please?
Yes, good evening.
I have to recuse myself from this. I live just a few houses down from the subject property.
Oh, thanks. We'll hold on for just 1 second.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, Council members. Yasmin Arellano, Deputy Director of Public Works. This easement that is uploaded is identified as yellow. This was dedicated to the city in 1978. The existing alignment of West Main Street and the existing level of service has been determined that is adequate, and future realignment is no longer necessary. This roadway easement we're able to abandon in accordance to Streets and Highways Code sections 8320 through 8325. And I'm here to answer any questions council may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the council? All right, thank you for coming. Public hearing is now open. Darrell, do we have any speaker cards on this?
We do not have any speakers, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing. Moved and seconded, please vote. Did we get not all the lights, Darrell? Mine? I vote yes.
Councilmember Goebel? Councilmember Kalashiro? Mr. McClellan? Mr. Kendrick has recused. Mayor Wells?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0, just for the record. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, council, any further discussion, or would someone like to make a motion?
Mr. Kendrick, I still need to vote on the action.
Stay where you belong, Gary. You're not supposed to be here. So much trouble. Okay. So, council, any discussion, or would you like to make a motion?
Move to adopt the next resolution.
Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 4-0 with one recusal, Mayor.
All right, Gary. Welcome back. All right. There are no administrative reports. There are no commissioner reports. Item 6.1 is my activities report. Item 6.2 is the legislative report. And there's not much to tell you since our last meeting. There hasn't been any real changes in the bills that we're looking at. It just continues to go through the legislative process. So I will continue to inform you if there's any changes that are being made. Councilmember Kendrick, anything new on your?
As reported.
Councilmember McClellan?
I have two things I want to bring up. I got a call today from a citizen that uses MTS a lot, and he said there's a lot of prostitution, drugs, and panhandling at the MTS transit station. And I don't know if we're responsible for that or whether it's MTS that's responsible for controlling these things. Could we get an answer?
Both have responsibilities out there. We are familiar with it. The MTS station is a pretty regular stop-off place for our police department because people do come into town and cause trouble there. So we'll take another look at it.
Right. And the other thing is, while I was off, there was an article in the Union Tribune about Jerry Navarro, who owns Jerome's Furniture, had donated a lot of mattresses, 60 mattresses, to the El Cajon Transitional Living Center. And I think that would deem giving him a special proclamation for his contribution in the community and for his generosity. So I give you the article, and you can have a proclamation made up for it.
Do we need to put this on a future agenda, or can we just have a proclamation made up at this point?
Proclamations often are not done on if it's going to go on the agenda, I have the authority to put it on the agenda. If the council is generally interested, I can
do it at this point.
Contact.
All right. Then, Bobby, you want to make a motion to make a proclamation?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please vote.
Just a comment. Just a comment about the East County Transitional Living Center. For those of you that don't know about it, it's on the east end of the city, and they house about 150 formerly homeless women and children and about 100 men that are in the last stage of a drug and alcohol rehab program. It's like a boot camp. It's like being in the Marines for about a year. And I actually have a person living at my house as a graduate of it, and it's just wonderful. So that's the part of the program the city has that we have supported through federal funds for emergency vouchers, but it's only for people that want to make themselves better.
That motion carries 5-0, Mayor.
Great. So your proclamation, I think it's a great one.
Very good.
He's a good guy. He
is.
Helps everybody out. He's a good man.
I was going to buy all my furniture from him.
There you go. Okay, Ben, is there any changes?
As I've reported.
Steve?
As reported, also with a note, I sat in for Councilman McClellan last week at the MTS board meeting. Throughout San Diego, they are reconfiguring many, if not most, of the bus routes throughout the county, including the major ones here in El Cajon. It would affect people who park at the El Cajon Transit Center to take the bus up to Viejas. They're employed at Viejas. The proposed bus line will terminate at what's called the East County Square, which is out at Las Cochas and Interstate 8. It will not continue up to Alpine. There will be a new bus route from East County Square up to Viejas. So the people that park at the transit center who are employed by Viejas who take the bus up there will now be parking out at East County, Square, out at Las Cochas and Greenfield. That's a significant realignment of a lot of people at the transit center. So wanted to make all the stakeholders aware of that. The final vote is at the September MTS board meeting. They're also going to reroute one other bus route to skip Main Street and to go down Washington instead to get to the transit center. So two major realignments for people in El Cajon to start talking about.
All right, thanks for reporting that. Okay. There are no joint council member reports. There are no general information items for discussion and no first or second readings of ordinances. And there is no closed session. So we are now at adjournment. Since there is no evening meeting, the regular joint meeting of the El Cajon City Council, El Cajon Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 25th day of July 2017, is now adjourned till August 8th, 2017 at 3 o'clock p.m. Thank you very much.